Okay, I think we're all set. So hello and welcome. It's wonderful to see everybody here. So I already have some questions on here. Let me just make sure. You should be able to hear me now, Hannah. And yes, this will be recording. So let me get to that in just a second. Thank you so much for using the chat box. I appreciate it. So let me introduce myself for those who don't know me. I'm Jill Celeste. I'm a marketing teacher and founder of the Celestial Marketing Academy. And I'm very excited to be here today. It's one of the things I love to do is teach. And I love teaching in an environment where I don't have to worry about pressure sales, crazy offers at the end. This was just a true blue class. And I'm looking forward to really inspiring you and teaching you some great content. Before we get into the presentation, I have just a couple housekeeping notes, if you will. Zoom should have everybody muted, but if you can double check and just make sure you are muted. I don't hear anybody, but just if you could help me out with that, you can just see if you're muted, and if you are not, go ahead and mute yourself. This is a recording. Right now as we speak, and what I'll do at the end of this presentation, of course, it takes a little bit of time to process, but I will send you an email with the link to the recording as well as a PDF of my slides. That way you don't have to hurriedly take a lot of notes. This will be something you'll get a copy of, and you can keep it forever and ever. And if you have any questions, feel free to use the chat box. I will check it at the end of the presentation. And I'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have. I plan on doing a full hour here today, including questions. So I look forward to seeing what everybody's doing and hearing what your thoughts are. So feel free to throw those in the chat box. So now, to make things a little less distracting, I am going to turn off my video. There we go. And we'll get started with the presentation. So let's first talk about your business, because it's an important part of why you are needing marketing help or client attraction help. And if you're like me, you aspire to have a business that really turns your passion into profit, right? You want to be able to share your passion and your purpose with the world and make a living from it without struggling and being frustrated about trying to find clients all the time, finding referral sources all the time, and just finding people who rave about what you do. You don't mind hard work, but you want the work to be productive, and in the end, you want it to be profitable. I know that's how I feel, and I bet that's how you feel as well. But unfortunately, your dream and your current reality are not the same. Right now, it is a struggle for you to attract clients. Maybe your marketing is a bit of a disorganized mess. Maybe you've tried everything to earn a profit, but nothing seems to be working. And you feel frustrated. And you may have had thoughts about quitting your business. You may have had thoughts that you're not even cut out for entrepreneurship. And truth be told, you may even not be able to pay your bills, or to pay off credit card debts, or to put money in a savings account. You could be late on your bills, overdrawing your checking account. I mean, these are realities of entrepreneurship. And because you're struggling, your loved ones see your struggle, and they hate to see you struggle. And so they'll often ask, why don't you get a real job? Which is just the worst thing you want to hear at this point. Well, I've got good news. I want you to hang in there, because it does not have to be this way. And I'm glad you're here today watching this free virtual class, because that's really learning new things is an important first step into turning all of this around. And I always hope I give you hope, and hope that I can inspire you to realize that entrepreneur's dream that I talked about a couple slides ago is attainable. if you want to imagine with me, and it's up to you, you can close your eyes, but let's just imagine some situations that could be true for you, especially as it relates to your marketing. And you can visualize these in your mind's eye. That's always a good thing. Here's the first thing to think about. You have a plan on exactly how to market your business. No more guesswork. There is less efforting. You know exactly what needs to be done to market your business to attract more clients because you have a marketing plan to help you. Clients self-select from your marketing and sales materials and come to you. They happily pay you for your products and services. You are making money and able to pay bills on time, pay off your credit cards, and have a savings account. You are much happier because you're fulfilling your purpose and sharing your gifts with customers who love and need you. Wow, that feels great, right? That is exactly the reality I want you to have. But right now, that is not your reality. And here's why. You are an expert in your craft. You could be a health coach. You've taken all the classes. You could be the credentialing and the licensing. You could be a graphic designer and have advanced training and design. And you know your craft. You know your trade. And while you may have gone to school to learn all about your industry and your profession, here's something you didn't learn in all of that schooling. You are the director of marketing for your business. And this is really the most important role of your business, but it's not something that's taught at a lot of these schools. And that's why your reality and your dream are in two different places. And here's another thing. I bet you've tried to learn marketing, and you might have done things like sign up for a webinar that promised to double your income in 30 days, or sign up for a course that promised 5,000 new Facebook fans, or maybe you've even checked out some online academies or things like that, and you couldn't afford them if you tried. Well, I'm here to tell you that that's all bullshit. People can't promise you they're going to double your income. 5,000 new Facebook fans do not necessarily mean sales, and I firmly believe you should not have to go in debt to get the marketing help you need. Here's something I want you to understand about me before I delve into the content. Here's what I want you to remember. You don't have to sell your soul to market your business. Let me tell you a very, very quick story. A few months ago, I had an opportunity to get a free book from a noted marketing expert who will remain unnamed. I'm not going to name who he is. But of course, I love a free book, but I was more curious about how he would market to me through this book opportunity because I thought I could benchmark it for my own business. So here's what happened, okay? I opted in for the book, and he offered free training with the book. So I typed in my name to get the book, and then I proceeded to the next screen to get this free training. I was taken to a web page where I had to listen to a sales video about a $300 product. Now, I wasn't interested. Remember, I'm after free training. So in order to proceed, in order to continue on to get my free training, I had to click a button that said, no, I am not interested in getting more clients now. So a new page appeared, and it pitched the same product again, this time with a payment plan. I'm still not interested, so I declined again. And then went to another web page with another video with a completely different product that offered a two-part payment plan. Now, I'm not interested in buying, and I declined again. And yes, to decline, I still have to press the button that says, no, I'm not interested in getting more clients right now. Finally, I reached the last screen where I could access this free training that I was promised with this book. I was so exhausted and so annoyed after being pitched to 3 times that I decided not to even bother accessing this free training video. Now, was this guy done? Nope, not by a long shot. So here's what's going on in my email. I immediately, as soon as I get the book confirmation, I immediately get an email from this marketer reminding me to take advantage of his free training. Now, as I mentioned, I was so turned off by the sales pitches. Honestly, I didn't even want his book anymore. I felt really icky. But I reminded myself, okay, you're here to learn a lesson, so let's just keep our eyes open. So I got that back into receiving mode. Here's what happened. I got 12 emails where I was being persuaded to obtain his free training. Most of the emails were the same exact copy with just different subject lines, including a subject line that said that there was a problem with my book order. There wasn't a problem with my book order. It was just problematic, I guess, because I didn't want to watch his free training, quote unquote free training. So after the barrage of emails and sales pitches, I felt gross. I felt sold to, even though the book and the training were quote unquote free. And I asked myself, at what point in this marketing expert's career, did he feel like he had to sell his soul to have people purchase from him? So it reminded me of a story I learned in college. I have a bachelor's degree in English, and I studied the Christopher Marlowe play about Dr. Faustus. And I'm not going to, I don't want to bore you, especially if you hate literature, but in a nutshell, what Dr. Faustus is doing, he gets very bored with his normal studies of law and logic and theology. And what he wants to do is he wants to learn magic. So he makes a deal with the devil. The devil says, you have 24 more years to live. During that time, you will learn magic. And once those 24 years are up, you will go to hell and live there eternally. So in a nutshell, Dr. Faustus traded his soul to learn magic. However, Dr. Faustus, he didn't use this magic for any good. By the time his 24 years were up, he wasn't any more happy or successful in his life. In essence, he squandered those 24 years, he squandered his learning, and he squandered his entire life for a conceited pursuit. So what is the lesson here for you, the entrepreneur? Don't be a Dr. Faustus when it comes to your marketing. You don't have to sell your soul to learn marketing magic. Why? Because marketing magic that is being taught and used by many marketing experts is not grounded in authenticity, love, and light. And if you are a light worker or a purpose-driven entrepreneur, marketing magic will make you feel icky and out of alignment. So think about it this way. Would you ever be comfortable implementing 3 upsells at the end of a free gift offer, or sending 10+ emails in an autoresponder series, or asking someone to take advantage of quote unquote free training that had all these layers to it? I'm going to guess not. Don't feel like you should have to market your business that way, because there is a better way. My mentor is a woman named Fabienne Fredrickson, and she says that marketing is a divine tool, and I just love that. And I use that thought to create what I call marketing divinity. And it's based upon the definition you see here on the screen. Marketing is an expression of how your gifts can help the people you were meant to serve. It's all about the message, and it's about your ideal clients, and it's about how you're here to help. And it should always feel authentic and heart-centered and loving and genuine, and it should just feel like you. So as you study about marketing, give yourself permission to question the experts, including me, to make sure you are aligned with the philosophy that they are teaching. Here's a simple question to ask yourself. Does this feel like marketing magic, or does this feel like marketing divinity? If it feels like marketing divinity, you're in the right place. So why do I go through all this sort of soapbox? So thank you for bearing with me as I kind of get through my philosophy here. I wanted to preface the content part of my presentation with that information, because I wanted you to understand where I was coming from as I deliver the next portion of this class. Now, I'm about to share with you 6 ways you can turn your marketing around. Notice this is not a step-by-step formula. These are really ideas. And here's the beauty of it. If one strategy speaks to you, that's awesome. If all 6 strategies speak to you, even better. My intention is to teach you these 6 ways, leaving you with enough information to decide how you want to proceed. So let's get to it. What are these 6 ideas I'm going to present today? And they're here on your slide. I'm going to go through each one of these one by one so that you can learn more about them and figure out which ones really resonate with you, which ones do not, or maybe they all do. And remember, these are just ideas. These are not things you have to implement, though if you do and it feels right to you, you will turn your marketing around. So let's get into the first idea. And I've already mentioned this, but it's about embracing your role as director of marketing. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to repeat after me. I am the director of marketing for my business. I am the director of marketing for my business. It's one of the many hats you wear, undoubtedly, I know, as a solopreneur, but it's the most important one. Why is that? Because without marketing your business, you won't have a business. Without marketing your business, you won't have a business. You must market to keep your business afloat. So how would your day change if you approached it as a director of marketing for your business? Would you push off marketing tasks? Would you skip that networking meeting? Would you forego that week's newsletter because you're not sure what to write? No. In fact, if a director of marketing at a company did that, he or she would be fired. But you can't fire yourself. You have to embrace this role. And you must prioritize your day with marketing tasks at the top. So here's what that means. Number one, have a marketing plan with goals. All directors of marketing have a marketing plan, and you should too. A marketing plan is your roadmap and how you will market your products and services. And really good marketing plans also have goals because it helps you determine what results you're hoping to accomplish with everything you're implementing. And you want to keep these goals top of mind. So put it on a Post-it note, write them on top of your daily planner, whatever you want to do. You want to keep those goals top of mind. The second thing you want to do is you got to make time for marketing. Now, here's the thing. Most business coaches, and I do agree with this statement, most business coaches suggest that if you're not at full capacity in your business, that you spend 4 hours every day on marketing. 4 hours every day if you're not at full capacity. You might be thinking, whoa, that sounds like a lot. And it is, because marketing is one of your essential daily tasks. So I have an assignment for you. If you decide this idea might work for you, here's what I want you to do. I want you, for the next week, block 4 hours a day for marketing. Ideally 4 hours in a row, but if you can't do it, do a couple hours in the morning, a couple hours in the evening, 1 hour in the morning, 3 hours in the afternoon, whatever makes sense for you. But 4 hours every day that you work. And here's the thing, try this for a week and see the difference it will make with your productivity and your mindset. You will definitely feel like the director of marketing for your business. Okay? The third thing you must do is you must know what marketing tasks have to be completed for that day. So yes, block the time for your marketing. Super important. But here's the next step to that. Assign specific tasks to accomplish during that block of time. So most successful entrepreneurs, like the Sir Richard Bransons of the world, they will have a 4-hour block of time, and they know exactly what they're going to accomplish in that block of time. They're going to do 30 minutes of this, 45 minutes of this, 10 minutes of this, et cetera, et cetera. This is really important. You need to do this for your marketing time as well. So look at your marketing plan and let it guide your daily tasks. And if you have a very big project, such as writing a book, give yourself permission to write that book for 15 minutes a day or 30 minutes a day, as opposed to waiting for a huge block of time to finish it. You will get that book or that large project done much faster if you work on it every day for a small time frame. So, in summary, if you own a business, you are the director of marketing for your company. And that means you have to think, act, and work like a director of marketing. Make a sign and put it above your desk if that helps you remember. Make sure to write that marketing plan. Make sure you know your goals and know that this is a mindset shift. But once you start thinking and acting like the director of marketing for your business will grow without a doubt. So that's the first idea you can ponder. The second one is about your ideal client. Excuse me, I take a quick drink. I'm going to go in depth here, probably on this step a little more than the other five rather, because this one I'm really jazzed up about, and I really think a lot of people need to do this. So one of the biggest things when you're creating a marketing strategy is you have to pinpoint who your ideal client is. Why? Well, for one thing, when you know who your ideal client is, you can write compelling marketing messages geared for that audience. And it helps you identify where to market, because you can decide which marketing channels are frequented by your ideal client. Think of the long line of dominoes. The first domino that has to fall to get everything else in movement is your ideal client. It's really important to take time to hone in on who your ideal client is. So how do you do that? Well, you ask some questions. And you can ask these questions of people you've already served or who you want to serve, or maybe you've already worked with enough clients to know the answers already. But you're going to ask yourself some questions. You see them here on the screen. They're fairly common sense, but here's why these are important. This gives you such great information about your ideal client, especially the last two bullets about what is their problem and what's keeping them up at night. Because you're the person who can solve this problem, but you got to understand what this problem is first. So answer these questions. Then the next step is I really want to encourage you to write what I call an ideal client persona. You may have heard this as an avatar, ideal client profile. It's all the same thing. And you are doing is basically creating a persona that is the perfect representation of your client. Here's what I recommend. I know it sounds hokey, but first name your ideal client. Here's why. Because others will identify with him or her, and they actually will say, oh, I'm just like Rachel, or I'm just like Lori, or whatever. It really makes a very personalized aspect to this. So name your ideal client. The second thing I want you to do is describe who your ideal client is. The third thing I want you to do is describe what her biggest problems are, okay? What her biggest problems are. And finally, isolate what your ideal client needs to do to solve her problems. So I'll list all four of those again. Name your ideal client, describe who she is, describe her biggest problems, and isolate what she needs to do to solve her problems. And it may take you several versions to get this ideal client persona sort of finalized, and that's fairly normal. You're never done with this. This is an exercise that you'll constantly be doing, but get it done. You can put it on your website. It'll help you with presentations. It'll help you with your elevator speech. It really helps with so much, including writing those marketing messages that will pull clients to you. And remember, the idea behind writing this ideal client persona is to get your prospective clients to resonate when she is reading it, so that she says, oh, this is me, right? So take time to interview your ideal clients and sales prospects to learn the exact language they're using to describe themselves. This will help you write an ideal client persona that will make people want to work with you. So once you've identified who your ideal client is and you've written that persona, your next step is to find out where your ideal client is hanging out. So what do I mean by hanging out? Well, that could just mean like, what networking meetings are they going to? What social media sites does she frequent? What conferences does she attend? What publications and blogs and websites is she reading and looking at? You might have heard me say before, fish where the fish are. If you've identified that your fish, quote unquote, is a female rainbow trout, then you need to know where the female rainbow trout are. If you cast your line in the Atlantic Ocean, you will never find a female rainbow trout there because they are freshwater fish and you're in a saltwater body of water, right? You have to know where your fish are. So on this slide, this is my avatar, Penny. And so you see on the left-hand side, you see some information about who she is. This is information that I've gathered over time. And on the right side, these are places where I can find her. And again, this is based on my research, and I continue to hone this in. So I want to select marketing tactics that put me in front of Penny in large numbers. So that means maybe going to female or women's networking group, or because I understand social media demographics. I know that my ideal client typically is on Facebook, Pinterest, and Twitter. So I'm not messing around with Google Plus or LinkedIn or something else. I also know that my ideal client loves to be inspired. She reads inspirational books, magazines, and websites. So it behooves me to write an inspirational book or to write blog posts for inspirational websites, that type of thing. I also know that my ideal client typically has gone through some type of training, such as graduating from the Institute for Integrative Nutrition or going to coaching schools, that type of thing. So again, I try to do presentations at these schools. I approach different professional associations that kind of have these graduates there. And I also know that she loves to follow inspirational people such as Danielle Laporte or Esther Hicks, Fabienne Fredrickson, Louise Hay. So that's where, those are the events I should be going to, and those are the online communities or where I can target my Facebook ads. So see how this really helps me connect with my ideal client. And this is where you're going. This is not overnight. This is a process, and it is an ongoing process. I am still learning about who my ideal client is. But this will get you started. And again, if this feels like it resonates with you, start with those questions from the previous slide and get moving from there. Okay, let's go to the third idea you can do. Understanding what sets you apart from all others in the industry. There are probably thousands of people like you. I'm a marketing teacher, marketing coach. We're a dime a dozen, but there's only one me and there's only one you. And it's really important for you to understand how you stand out from the rest of the people in your industry. And this is sometimes a hard exercise because it does require some self-reflection and a little bit of boasting. But if you can't explain how you're different from others, how will your ideal client understand it? You really must understand how you are different. So this means, in a nutshell, that you have to do some research on your quote-unquote competitors. This exercise is about how you were different from your competition. Now, a lot of entrepreneurs are wary of competition. They feel like competitors are stealing their business, maybe just have less than positive thoughts. And big brands such as Coke and Pepsi don't really help with this. But here's what I want you to know. The world needs you and your competitors because you're not going to be able to serve everyone you meet. Perhaps you and that person have the wrong vibe. Maybe you're just located in the wrong city, or maybe your offerings just aren't what that person needs. And so when a sales prospect finds synergy with one of your competitors, that's really a good thing. Wish her well and focus your energies on the rest of the people who do need you. Honestly, aren't you glad you don't have to spin your wheels trying to connect with someone who isn't meant to work with you? That could have saved you a bunch of time. And even further, because I know you're purpose-driven, be glad that sales prospect found the perfect person for him. But you do want to look at your competition, and here is what you want to focus on. And this is just information. This is just research, but it helps you figure out how you are different in the marketplace. So the first thing you can look at is what I call the marketing profile of your competitors. So that's understanding who their ideal clients are. Where they are, maybe geographically. Are they virtual, or can they only serve a small community? What are they implementing from a marketing perspective? And you're going to guess on some of these, and that's okay. You can always update this information as you get more data and more detail. The second thing you can do is observe your competition's marketing implementation. What's working well for them? What's not working well for them? You can apply these lessons to your own marketing. Now, I'm not saying copy. Just watch and observe and get inspired. And the last thing you can do is see if there's any gaps in the marketplace, especially if you're in a marketplace like mine, where there's a lot of us. And so you look at, okay, this marketing coach does this, and this marketing coach does this, and this marketing coach does this, but I don't see anybody talking about this, and that's something I'm an expert in. So you've identified a gap, and you can own that gap and say, hey, I'm an expert in this, and this is how I am different from every other marketing coach. Of course, I'm using that as my example, but insert graphic designer, insert health coach, insert travel agent. Look at the gaps in the marketplace and see if there's some place for you to fill in the gap, because that is untapped market share that could become quite profitable for you. So that's the third idea you can think about. Let's move on to number 4, which is about finding ways to constantly share your expertise. People buy from those they trust. Think about your own purchasing patterns. Let's say you wanted to hire a personal trainer. Wouldn't you want a personal trainer who was an expert in fitness and weight loss and exercise? I mean, you wouldn't want to spend money with someone who's never trained anyone before and didn't have the credentials to help you meet your weight loss goals. You have to be assured that this personal trainer is an expert in his field, or you're going to go find somebody else. And your ideal clients are really no different. They have to know that you know your shit. So some entrepreneurs will hear this strategy and they'll think, oh my God, how am I supposed to make money if I'm constantly giving away my knowledge for free? And yeah, it's a good question, but it's a mindset thing. And I want you to remember, you don't have to give away the farm, but you have to give away enough knowledge so that people know you are an expert, or they will never, ever, ever, ever buy from you. So how do you share your expertise? Well, one of the best ways to do that is through a type of marketing called content marketing. And if you've never heard this before, basically content marketing is when you produce original content, such as blog posts or infographics or videos, where you share your knowledge without trying to sell to someone. No selling, just sharing. And trust me when I say it leads to sales every time. So think about the type of content you can produce. And there's a huge list here on this slide. You know, the most common kind is blog writing, but that's not the only thing you could do. You could record podcasts, you can write an ebook, you can hold a webinar like I'm doing, you can create a recipe, you can create an app for your smartphone. I mean, depending on what your industry and profession is, there are a lot of different things you can do. The sky is the limit. So think about content marketing and what content you can produce. Hand in hand with that, if you're active on social media, that's an excellent place to share your expertise as well. You can share articles, tips, blog posts, videos, anything about your industry, and answer people's questions. Even asking the right questions can help show your expertise. So make sure, if this idea resonates with you, that you always are generous with your knowledge. It is so effective for getting future customers to know, like, and trust you. And remember when I said people buy from those they trust. They have to trust you. So think about producing content. Moving on to the 5th idea I have. I love this one. And if you follow me for any length of time, I'm always using the word tribe. Honestly, I'm biased, but I believe every entrepreneur needs a tribe. It is essential nowadays, especially in our online marketing, to have a tribe. So what is a tribe? Seth Godin, who's a brilliant marketer, defines a tribe as this. Your tribe is a group of people connected to you, to an idea, and to each other. Think about this too from a social media standpoint. So then your social media fans, people who like your Facebook page, etc., they are tribe members who care deeply about you and your work, and they connect with other fans to amplify your work. In other words, your tribe is a group of people who are loyal to you, who believe in your work, who tell others about you and purchase from you. Some people refer to their tribe as a community or brand ambassadors, and honestly, the title does not matter. It's what the tribe does that's important. So let me give you an example. Harley-Davidson motorcycles. This is one of the best examples of a tribe out there based on a product. Even at the local level, Harley-Davidson does a fantastic job building a tribe. They have bike runs, they do charity events, they wear merchandise, they go to national events such as Bike Week. Have you've been driving down the road and you see two Harley-Davidson riders approach each other from opposite directions, and they'll wave to each other, right? They probably don't know each other, but they know they are part of the same tribe because of the motorcycle they're sitting on. And would these Harley-Davidson riders ever buy from Yamaha or Honda? They are loyal to Harley Davidson right down to the t-shirt on their chest. And here's another thing to consider about tribes. It is so much easier to sell to someone who has already bought from you than someone who's new to your brand. So when you build a tribe, you have a community of loyal, happy customers who are happy to purchase from you. And I don't know about you, but any chance I can get to not sell so hard, the better I feel. So remember this. If you have a tribe, you'll always be profitable. If you have a tribe, you'll always be profitable. So think about building a tribe. This is not, again, one of those overnight get-rich schemes. This is something that takes time. You got to plant the seeds now. But as you plant them, it will blossom. If you like to read, I recommend the book called Tribes, plural, Tribes by Seth Godin. And that talks a lot about tribe leadership, how to get a tribe going, why it's important. So if you're interested in this step and you enjoy reading, please go get that book. It is fantastic. Okay, last suggestion, assessing and improving your marketing. This is where you're going to learn where you've struck gold in your marketing and also where you have opportunities for improvement. So think about basically what you can learn from what you implemented from a marketing standpoint so you can perfect what you're doing. You want to evaluate each marketing tactic you've implemented and compare it to the goal you set for it. Remember back on way number one about having a marketing plan with goals? That's why setting goals are very important, because you have a goal and then you have the actual result and you can compare the two. Did you meet your goal? Did you exceed your goal? Did you not do anything with your goal, etc.? And that gives you tremendous information. Measuring the effectiveness of your marketing efforts is really super, super essential, because you don't know what the ROI, the return on investment, is unless you measure it. You don't want to waste time and money on marketing tactics that don't work for you. So when you have the right information, you can fine-tune your marketing messages and mediums. You can select the right tactics to reach your audiences at the lowest cost available. So think about what worked, what didn't work. If you went and set up a vendor table at the church and you didn't make any sales, then that's a marketing tactic you probably could abandon. But if conversely you set up a table at a local business expo and you had skyrocketing sales, then that's something you want to repeat. Use information to help you make smarter marketing decisions for the future. Also, this gives you opportunities when you assess your marketing. It gives you opportunities to see where you can make adjustments. So what do I mean by that? Well, you can examine if you need to abandon a marketing tactic. In fact, if the vendor table at a church function is not helping you, abandon it, right? This gives you enough intelligence to make that decision. You also can examine whether you need to adjust your pricing, or maybe you need to add more products to the mix. Maybe it's time to update your website. You have more information about your ideal client, or you have more information about how you're different in the marketplace. You can update your website. Maybe you realize, oh, I'm getting a lot of traction from blogs. I want to do more content. I'm going to move and do webinars. Or maybe you've been only on one social media channel, such as Facebook or Twitter, and you've gotten that down pat, and you're seeing great results, and you're ready to forge into another social media channel, whatever it looks like. It's the list can go on, but the idea is that you examine your results and you analyze them and you make adjustments. That's what a director of marketing does. Most entrepreneurs do not do any of this, and that's a huge mistake. Because when you assess your marketing results, it gives you good information so you can make smarter marketing decisions. So you can make better marketing plans, and you can pick right marketing tactics to reach your ideal clients. So if this speaks to you, it's a good thing to think about. Give me just one second. I'm going to take a quick sip of water. So those are the 6 ways you can turn your marketing around. Now, can you implement this and do this all very quickly? So the thing I've learned in being in business since 2011 is that do-it-yourself is great when you're a solopreneur, but it's the scenic route. You can absolutely implement everything I said in today's presentation on your own, 100%. But the odds are that you will have slower results. You won't see results as fast. Short story. When I became an entrepreneur in 2010, I came into my business with an enormous amount of corporate marketing and public relations and social media experience. I've been doing it for 12 plus years. I knew how to write a marketing plan. I knew how to get a return on investment. I understood marketing terms. I thought, hey, I know how to market a business. But despite having this marketing knowledge, I was still having a hard time marketing my own business because I knew the marketing stuff, but I didn't have anybody holding me accountable, and I didn't have a sounding board, and I didn't have a community. And because I thought I was a marketing expert, well, I was, but I was missing this piece. I was pretty prideful, right? And so I started to realize a couple of years into my business, gosh, I need some information here. So I went to a conference, a 3-day conference about marketing. And my intention was go to the conference, come home with a manual, implement everything I learned. And so I did that. I made these huge posters. I had them all around my office to remind me what I need to be working on. And I got to work, and it took me, that was like in May. Christmas came around. I still didn't have any clients. No clients. I had to go get a side job to get Christmas presents for my kids. Finally, by the end of that year, I got my first client. And I sold a package where you got 3 hours of coaching with me for $150. It was, quite a bargain. So yeah, I started to get clients, but then I was so underpricing myself that I was miserable. So finally, a year after that workshop, I said, okay, I need a mentor. I need some kind of accountability. I need some kind of community. So I said yes to an opportunity to work with a mentor. In 8 months, after working with my mentor and being in that community and having accountability, I tripled my income, 8 months. And yes, the money and the increased income was awesome, but here what was really, really important. I felt great about being in business. I stopped thinking about quitting. My mindset has improved, and I felt confident turning away clients who were not a good fit for my services. I'm going to be honest with you. I love do-it-yourself. I do still things in my business that I do myself. I know I'm a bit of a control freak. I'm a little bit cheap. But when it comes to mentorship and getting marketing guidance, I do not do a do-it-yourself approach. I still have a marketing mentor, and I am very pleased, and it's helped me grow my business by leaps and bounds. And that's what I want you to know. If you feel like you need a guide, a hand, I am here for you. If you're tired of the do-it-yourself approach and you're ready for faster results, then I would like to share with you just how I can help you, who I help, and give you details on how to set up that Get Acquainted call that I talked about at the beginning of this presentation. So who do I help? Well, this is a big list of professions. For many entrepreneurs, I'm a trusted marketing resource, and I love to call these groups of people purpose-driven entrepreneurs because they are in business to serve others, to serve the unique gifts, and to help make the world a better place. And many of these are light workers, which are a special group of people who have this beautiful, unique light and these gifts that are divinely given to them. And no matter what the title is, whether it's purpose-driven or light worker, whatever the case may be, these are beautiful people just like you, and they are needed in our world. We need these folks we need you and everyone else to get out there with your message. We need this now more than ever. And I see it as my purpose to help awaken these special entrepreneurs, to teach them how to share their gifts through marketing and constantly cheerlead them to success. Now, this is not a comprehensive list, so please don't be put off if you don't see your exact profession listed here. I think you get the general spirit of the type of people I help. In addition to those professions, my ideal client typically has what I call this marketing wish list. You wish to know exactly how to best market your business. You wish to understand what marketing tactics you should implement to grow your business. You want a plan that guides your marketing at all times because you get distracted. Me too. You wish to be a confident, knowledgeable director of marketing for your business. And you want to demystify marketing finally and not guess at it anymore. Now there's something else. Yes, all this tactical stuff is super important, but you get something more from working with me. And perhaps for some of you, this is what's really important. I hold up a mirror to you and I show you the best version of yourself and your business. I encourage you and I love you until you reach a point where you can accept this best version of yourself. You embrace it and you're ready to share it with the world. By owning and embracing this best version, you gain confidence to go bigger, 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 bigger with your gifts and message. You feel believed in, maybe for the first time as an entrepreneur. And as you evolve and grow, I help you through each step, just like a celestial guide. You get to tap into your inner director of marketing, the one I know it's in there, and you learn how to market your business your way in total alignment with your gifts. Now, our world is blessed to have so many marketing coaches out there. It's truly a blessing because each one of us brings a unique gift to the table. So what's my unique gift as a marketing coach? I am that cheerleader who believes in the powerhouse that you are, even if you can't see it yet. I encourage you to have faith in the process, to step out of the fear, and to share your gifts. Because there are so many people out there who are praying for a person like you. You have to do your job. You have to market your business so they can find you. I just don't teach the marketing tactics you need to learn. I am your support being, your magnifying glass, your sounding board, and yes, your number one fan. So if this resonates with you and you'd like to get the ball moving, I invite you to schedule a complimentary Get Acquainted call with me. And we're going to talk about how you're marketing your business now, what struggles you're experiencing, what are your business goals, and which of my programs would be a good fit for you and your needs. Total transparency. This is a sales call. This is an opportunity for me to see if you're my ideal client, and you have an opportunity to see if I'm your ideal marketing coach. The hope is that yes and yes, and we move on. If not, that's okay. But please know this. I am not a high-pressured salesperson. It's gross. I hate that. I respect your feelings, your boundaries, and your time. I hate to be sold to. And this shows in my sales process. And I'm proud to say the whole thing is very relaxed and super duper loving, I promise. So if this speaks to you, all you have to do is head over to the web address you see on your screen, callwithjill.com. This is a direct link to my calendar. And you just go and find a time slot that works for you. Total transparency, I am traveling next week. So there are no times available next week, but there are other times in March, and I would be delighted to speak with you. So that is the end of my presentation, at the end of this class. I hope it was helpful for you. I'm going to go ahead and switch off this share here, put my video camera on. There I am. Hi, everybody. And at this time, if you have any questions or anything I can help you with, feel free to throw them in the chat box, and I'll be delighted to answer them. I'll give everybody just a minute to do that. And if you don't have any questions or don't want to stick around, feel free to go ahead and sign off and with my thanks. And remember, I'll be sending an email probably a couple hours with the replay link and the PDF of the presentation, and also the URL for setting up the Get Acquainted call if that speaks to you. So let's see here. Who do we have on this chat here? Oh my goodness, so many beautiful people. Hi, everybody. Shirley, thank you so much. I loved your presentation. Thank you. This is actually, I have this presentation for a couple of years actually, and I kind of reworked it for this. I really wanted to talk about my marketing divinity and the Dr. Foster thing, and I hope it wasn't too much of a tangent, but I think it's important to kind of know the philosophy of a marketing coach, marketing teacher, to see if there's an alignment with you. Because if there isn't, then, you know, right then, you could have switched off. You're like, oh, this is crazy lady, and off you go. And I just feel like that it's important to know that, and it's okay if it didn't resonate. I'm not everybody's healer, but if I am yours, I'm glad you stuck around and got the information. So thank you. Thank you, Maureen. Oh, thank you so much for that. Yes, I try very hard for my authenticity to show through, and glad to see it work. Thank you, Maria. Thank you, Shirley, again. Yay, my heart love. Yay. That's what I tried for. So truth be told, the whole time I was presenting, I don't know if you can hear it, my dog, Emma, for many of you know who I am, is right next to me on the to my left, and she snored the entire time. And so I'm trying not to giggle because she snores quite loud. She's a basset hound, so she's got a really long nose. And I'm trying not to giggle because she's like snoring like an old man. And I think I did okay. And she's still snoring. She's completely. At least she didn't have to go outside, right? I guess that's the blessing there. It's good. I love hearing her snore. So. Well, it doesn't look like anybody has any questions, and I want to value your time, and I want to thank you again for being here with me and enjoying this presentation. Your compliments, your love compliments mean so much to me. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And so look for my email again in a couple of hours, and let me know if you have any questions. You can reply back to that email if something crops up, okay? All right, everyone, have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.